God bless the Republic of Nigeria. We may be seated. Thank you very much. Let me once again acknowledge the presence of His Excellency, the Distinguished Senator Heineke Lobodri, the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources of Oil. We'd like to also acknowledge quickly the presence of the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Mrs. Olu Bahayan. Good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us. We're also joined this morning by the Commission Chief Executive of NUPRC, Engineer Gbenga Komolafe, FNSE. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining us. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board is here, Engineer Felix Omashola Ogbe. A very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. We're also joined by Engineer Farouk Ahmed, Authority Chief Executive of the Nigerian Ministry Downstream Regulatory Authority. We're joined this morning as well, of course, by the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited. We acknowledge Dr. Meleko Lokari, FNMGS, and OFR. Very good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. We're joined this morning as well by the CFO of NNPC, Mr. Marajia, the EVP Upstream, Mrs. Orisha Meiwa Yeso. A very good morning to you. The Chairman of IPPG is here. We welcome you, Mr. Abdul Razak Isa. Thank you for joining us. We also have the Executive Director from Total Energies, Executive Vice Chairman ExxonMobil, Mr. Idris is here with us as well. A very good morning to you. Thank you very much. Chairman, Mr. James Swanson, thank you so much. We acknowledge Chief Joseph Benoit as the Chairman, of course, of First Marine, and we acknowledge the man who is leading the charge for floating LNG, Mr. Julius Rone, OFR, GMD of UTM FLNG Limited. Mr. Falabi is the Executive Director from Total, who we mentioned earlier. We acknowledge directors from the NCDMB who've been here with us in their numbers. We acknowledge leaders, MDs of IPPG companies, and of course we also acknowledge other members of OBTS who've joined us here this morning. I'd like to warmly welcome our distinguished delegates. We thank our sponsors earlier. We welcome our speakers, and indeed, gentlemen of the press, we welcome all of you. We thank you for joining us this morning. The theme showcasing opportunities, driving investment, meeting energy demand. Tariq.
Thank you very much, Richmond. For the past 23 years, the NOG Energy Week has been creating an atmosphere for showcase and opportunities, and these opportunities have resulted in driving investment that in turn meet energy demands.
Each strategy conference charts a new course for energy navigations for the next 12 months.
Industry players and innovators.
You will be wrong.
And if you call this a refueling ground, you will be wrong.
If you call this the ground for strategic connections, partnerships, and networking, you won't also be wrong. And on that note, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this 23rd edition of the NOG Energy Week. And we are confident you are not wrong in joining us, and you won't be wrong in the partnerships you will strike and the networking you will get into. But please, as I advocate, when those businesses are struck, give us our 5% finder's fee.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tarabiu Wilson Wayfawan, and that is the short version.
My name has always been short, as you know, is Richmond Osuji. But before I go any further, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Otome, who is here representing Nigerian LNG, is one of the general managers. Mr. Otome, very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us as well. There's also the MD of MD Western on the front row as well. We acknowledge you. Thank you so much for joining us. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, well, from the long name to the short name, let's now arrive at the opening speech for this year's NOG Energy Week. And to give us the opening speech is one who has worked with DMG and her colleagues in delivering this event consistently for many years. The hardworking, dedicated, and committed Wemimo Oyela. She is the country director for DMG Nigeria. Please, a warm applause as she makes her way to take the speech.
and gentlemen, kindly allow me to stand for an already existing protocol. This is a safety net that I've become very well accustomed to, thanks to Richmond, Tari, and Muji, for making my job a lot easier. I appreciate it. On behalf of the NOG Nigerian events and Level Services, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 23rd Annual NOG Energy Week. In taking the stage to deliver this welcome address, I am reminded of two things. One, that I should set the stage for the expectations and objectives that we have for the deliberations of the next 2 days. And two, to keep it short and to the point, because your time is precious. Time is truly our most precious commodity, and every single person in this room has set aside personal and day-to-day official duties to come be here at NOG. And while I am thrilled that you continue to give us your support to facilitate the conversations that will drive the energy industry and therefore the economy forward, I take the opportunity to ask you, what is it all for? I often get that question when I start speaking to people about the upcoming NOG. Webimo, you've come again with your conference. Webimo, all we do is talk. Yes, it is important that we do so. This NOG Energy Week 2024 theme is showcasing opportunities, driving investment, and meeting energy demand. DMG events facilitate the conversations that spark the solutions to the challenges currently inhibiting development and growth in our sector. Our job is to facilitate and create an environment where I can speak loudly if that helps.
No, just wait for the light to come on.
Where collaboration is encouraged and we move markets to provide progress. From our coffee breaks, our breakfast, lunches, dinners every evening, the leadership roundtable, and the international exhibition, pavilions from China, India, Germany, USA, Turkey, and the EU. All of this is to facilitate deal-making. Last night, at the Garden announcement by Shell, the Honourable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources reminded us of the quickest way to solve Nigeria's economic problems. The hope of 230 million people is huge. He said the industry players said it was very good. Therefore, I pose a challenge to you all. What are your ambitions for this industry? For the moderators and speakers, when you get on this stage, when you speak, I want you to share your ambitions as well as your actions, the actions you will be taking. I'd like to welcome the Honourable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources. For the moderators and speakers, when you get on the stage, when you speak, I want you to share your ambitions as well as the actions that you'll be taking to get this nation closer to meeting its demands. To the participants that will be sitting on the stage before me, I want you to encourage you to engage with panelists and also make time for them to share ideas, pursue deals, bearing in mind that you are the host of meeting energy demand sustainability. I have specifically asked our audience to get from our panel clearly defined next steps, actions that will get us to the decisions. This will be recorded in the NOG communique so that we can follow up on the comments being made by them. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Ministry of Natural Resources, our principal sponsors, the NCC, the regulators of the industry for their unwavering support, and to all our sponsors, speakers, exhibitors, vendors, and members of the press, and all who have contributed to establishing
Okay, leave try and leave.
Was this the one that
Yeah, leave try and leave.
your support and commitment are invaluable, and we are seeing the opportunities to your dedication to having these deliberations that you will then take into action. To conclude,
It's so tough.
Yeah, it is.
So tough. Everybody here.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking a brief pause in the activities, but before I leave the stage while we work on the live situation, I would like to recognize the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Utala, FNSC. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. And while Wenemo was speaking, we had the pleasure of receiving here in this conference hall the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and Gas. Honorable EveafriqueNews, please put your hands together. May I also recognize the Executive Vice President, Gas Power New Energy of the NNPC, Olalekan. Please put your hands together. And now with the Planning Commission will take a prestige pause as we rectify the light situation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is by no means deliberate, but we know that when you make plans and you make backup for your plans, that sometimes things happen that are beyond your control. And this is one of such occasions. So we sincerely apologize. And you will agree with me that for the years we've had energy here, we have not had such an incident. So you will pardon us because this is the first time this is happening. And we pray your indulgence like forgiveness. Are we forgiven?
Oh, yes.
You know, this is one of such cases where you say, those in favor say aye, and then those against say nay. Even though the names are tired, you say aye. Thank you so much.
Well, so at the International Conference Center, the lights went, and very responsible delegates, they have kept a dignified comportment. But it's amazing that it's taking this long for electricity to return to this venue. Ourselves. Oh, look at who we have here. Can we see her? Sophie's here. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. I hope we have the opportunity to, at 3 o'clock, Women in Energy Network. It's doing something, so in case some of the flavors of the conference. Yeah. No, in the pavilions, 3 o'clock.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'll introduce you to our president.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? So when we come to things like this, it's not for nothing. I get to be introduced to the president of Women in Energy. I like such things. I like stuff like that. So anyway, the electricity is back. So while that is ongoing, trying to put ourselves together again, I will stroll around so that you get to see the faces of some of the people here. You get to know that it is not a mean event. It is not a gathering of idle people. It is not a gathering of idle people. It is, matter of fact, a place for the discerning and astute practitioner in the industry. And what industry is that? It's the oil and gas industry.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
So
and now we have
to say that
blast,
nice
power,
if we
and
have
sound.
more of us.
I'd like to at this point
attending.
introduce a man who is not a stranger to you, is one who is serving at the apex body, that's the OPEC. And today he's not able to be here physically, but his message is already here, and I'll be queuing it shortly. That is His Excellency Haitham Al-Gais, Secretary General of OPEC. Media, please.
Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I regret I'm unable to join you and deal with you in Abuja this morning. Nevertheless, it's my great pleasure to address this 23rd Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week strategic conference via teleconference. Firstly, on behalf of OPEC, allow me to express my respects to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, it was my great honor and privilege to have an audience with you and other leaders in your esteemed government during my mission to Nigeria back in February this year. I want to express my sincere appreciation for Nigeria's ongoing strong commitment to OPEC and to the Declaration of Cooperation. Allow me to also recognize His Excellency Senator Heineken Lokobiri, Minister of State of Petroleum Resources. Excellency, we thank you for your valuable contributions and leadership to this organization, and we congratulate you on the many ways you are helping lead Nigeria's dynamic energy industry into the future. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, now in its 43rd edition, the Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week Conference and Exhibition continues to move from strength to strength as a leading energy event in Africa and globally. This year's edition is no exception. Under the theme showcasing opportunities, driving investment, and meeting energy demand, I know the organizers for providing a vital forum to discuss these key topics at a critical juncture in our industry. For the next few minutes, I would like to share with you OPEC's perspective on some of these key issues. Let me begin with the first topic cited in the theme, which is opportunities. At OPEC, we see a bright future ahead for energy with significant opportunities for robust long-term growth. Why are we optimistic? Let us consider these statistics, which are based on OPEC's worldwide outlook. We see energy demand rising by an estimated 23% by the year 2045. This will be fueled by a world economy that's expected to double in size, growing from $138 trillion last year to $270 trillion in 2025. We also forecast a rapidly expanding world population that will surpass 9.5 billion people, with most growth seen in non-OECD developing countries. Urbanization alone will account for over 500 million people moving to cities around the world by 2030. This data tells us that the world will require all forms of energy to meet long-term energy requirements. Oil and gas will remain the predominant fuel in the energy mix. In fact, oil alone will retain its share of almost 30% in 2045 as world demand for oil continues to rise to an estimated 116 million barrels a day by that time. To meet this rapid and robust growth in energy consumption, the industry will need to boost investment levels significantly in the years to come. According to our research, cumulative oil-related investment requirements from now to 2045 will amount to approximately $14 trillion, or nearly $610 billion per year. Securing this funding is essential to maintaining security of supply and avoiding unwanted volatility. Despite these facts, I am certain you are aware of some recent predictions for peak demand by 2030 and the calls for a discontinuation of investment in hydrocarbons. These voices are not in touch with reality. And now we are seeing large corporations and many governments reevaluate their transition strategies and timelines. Indeed, the rush to adopt net zero strategies was misguided and simply not realistic. developing countries continue to balance priorities between developing their national economies and addressing climate change. In this regard, OPEC and its member countries continue to advocate for a balanced and fair process for adaptation, mitigation, and the means of implementation, particularly with regard to climate finance and technology. This is crucial for Africa to ensure its unique circumstances are respected and taken into consideration. Finally, we must not relent in our efforts to tackle the critical issue of energy poverty. It is an unfortunate fact that still today there are an estimated 675 million people with no access to basic forms of energy and almost 2.3 billion without access to clean cooking fuels. World leaders must unite and advocate for the necessary support and resources to make a difference in addressing this important matter. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, looking ahead, OPEC will continue to enhance dialogue and cooperation with all of its energy partners, including in Africa. In this regard, we will continue to prioritize the OPEC Africa dialogue. Nigeria continues to play a key role in this important event, which serves as a highly valuable forum for exchange of outlets. Global energy cooperation has been OPEC's modus operandi since its founding in 1960, and will continue to be so well into the future. With that, I thank you, and I wish you all a highly successful conference.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Haitham Al-Gais, Secretary General of OPEC. We're moving on from OPEC now to the GECF, the Gas Exporting Countries Forum, as we'll pass it on virtually to His Excellency Engineer Mohammed Hamel.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, with due respect to all protocol observed, I extend my warmest greetings to each of you. It is an honor to speak before you today at the Nigerian Oil and Gas Conference. At the outset, I would like to pay tribute to a respected professional and diplomat with whom I had the privilege of collaborating within the framework of OPEC. His final address at this very NOG conference 2 years ago left a lasting impression. The late Mohammed Sanusi Barkin. May his soul rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to recognize Nigeria's outstanding membership in the GECF. Nigeria actively contributes to the forum, and the staff members from your esteemed country are great assets to the organization. On behalf of the GECF, I extend heartfelt congratulations to Nigeria on declaring this decade as the decade of gas, with the goal of transforming into a gas-powered economy by 2030. Your esteemed country possesses the abundant natural resources, skillful human capital, and innovative capabilities necessary to transform this ambitious goal into a reality. Nigeria's population is projected to reach 370 million people by 2050, positioning it as the third most populous country globally after India and China. This reality underscores both the immense opportunity for economic development and the challenge of meeting escalating demands for food, water, energy, education, healthcare, and employment. This challenge is indeed not unique to Nigeria alone, but resonates across Africa, as highlighted during the inaugural workshop on natural gas for Africa, organized by the GECF on Africa Day. Empowering the growing population and enhancing living standards in an inclusive and sustainable manner will undoubtedly require greater access to energy, reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy. According to the latest GECF global gas output projections, African primary energy demand is expected to more than double by 2050. To meet this growing demand, all energy sources and technologies shall contribute, with energy policies and strategies tailored to each country's unique circumstances, capabilities, and priorities. However, as Nigeria has astutely recognized by launching the decade for gas, the role of natural gas is pivotal. Available, flexible, and versatile, natural gas, the cleanest of hydrocarbons, plays a crucial role in ensuring energy security and reducing indoor pollution and deforestation, improving urban air quality, lowering greenhouse gas emissions, and providing stability to renewable energy systems. Last but not least, as a key feedstock in fertilizer production, natural gas supports food security and helps eradicate hunger. Global demand for natural gas is projected to increase by 34% over the period to 2050, with its share in the global energy mix expected to rise from 23% today to 26% by 2050. The cumulative investment required for upstream and midstream sectors is projected to exceed $9 trillion US. Calls to have investment in natural gas threaten market stability and future supply security. This stance is particularly unjust for African nations, which bear no historical responsibility for climate change and contribute only 3% to global greenhouse gas emissions. This nation should not be penalized for utilizing their natural resources to uplift their populations out of poverty. The Algiers Declaration, adopted by the GECF 7th Summit, underscored the urgent necessity for timely investment and seamless flow of financial resources to ensure energy security and maintain market stability. The summit also highlighted the crucial role of technology in enhancing the security, affordability, and sustainability of natural gas. Member countries have decided to expand the cooperation in this area, as exemplified by the inauguration of the Gas Research Institute in Algiers in March. Ladies and gentlemen, my final message is about the upcoming UN Climate Conference, which will be hosted by the Republic of Azerbaijan at GECF member country. Firstly, I extend my gratitude to Right Honorable Ekberiki, Minister of State Petroleum Resources and Gas, for honoring us with his participation in the ministerial panel held in the GECF pavilion at COP28. Secondly, I am pleased to announce that the GECF will once again host a pavilion in Baku, and I warmly invite you all to join us there. As we did last year, we are committed to playing an active role in the run-up to and during COP29. We will ensure coordination among member countries and advocate for natural gas as a pivotal resource for sustainable development and for equitable, orderly, and just energy transitions that leave no one behind. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all a successful event. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we just had the international keynote addresses first from OPEC and then the GECF. Before I invite our next speaker, permit me to recognize the Chief Executive Officer of NOG Energy, Alex Iruni. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. May I also let you know to recognize industry associations that are here: PETEN, OPTEN, NAPE, PCTS, SON, OPTS, and SPE. You're all welcome. Thank you for being here. Permit me at this point, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to invite to the microphone a man who leads an organization that has industry innovators and risk takers. He is the chairman of the Independent Petroleum Producers Group and also the chairman of Walter Smith, Abdulrazak Issa. Please put your hands together for him as he comes to take the leaders industry leader address.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stand on the existing protocols for the day. Captains of industry, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I said kindly allow me to stand on the existing protocols as already laid out by the organizers and the MC. On behalf of the Independent Petroleum Producers Group, IPPG, it is with great honor and privilege to once again deliver this industry keynote address at the 2024 NOG Energy Week. I extend our warm greetings to all distinguished guests and esteemed delegates gathered here today. I must begin my address by using this opportunity to once again appreciate His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the transformative reforms being undertaken by his administration. Specifically, the recent presidential executive orders and directives are a welcome development for the industry. Also of note is His Excellency's direct intervention in untangling issues in some of the long overdrawn IOC divestment transactions. These delays have been costly to the industry and extremely detrimental to the nation as a whole. We are encouraged to see swift progress on implementation and some tangible results within a relatively short period of time. Such progressive and impactful policies are exactly what the industry has consistently clamored for to sustainably develop and move the industry forward. Permit me to also use this opportunity to appreciate the Honorable Ministers of State, Petroleum Resources, Oil and Gas, Senator Heineken Ndobobri and Right Honorable Ekwerike Eko, respectively, the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Mrs. Olu Vehaide, the CCE of NUPRC, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, the ACE, as the Authority Chief Executive of NMDPRA, Engineer Farouk Ahmed, the Executive Secretary of SCDMP, Engineer Felix Okwe, and the GCEO of NNPC, Malam Mele Kolo Kiari, for diligently executing Mr. President's vision for the industry. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, notwithstanding these valuable policies and the gradual positive turnarounds being experienced, the industry is in a dire need of extraordinary focus to mitigate the genuine concerns of its long-term sustainability. Despite our world-class hydrocarbon resource base, with over 37 billion barrels of proven crude oil reserves and 207 TCF and 600 TCF of proven and contingent gas reserves respectively, we find ourselves in a situation where our daily production has significantly dropped and lies at about 1.3 million barrels plus 200,000 barrels of condensate and 8.5 BCF of gas today. This is way below our capacity as a nation, and by all globally acceptable standards, these reserves to production ratio is extremely low and a clear indicator that the country is in a dire situation. In addition, we now run the risk of partial implementation of our national budget, considering an estimated deficit of about 200,000 barrels per day from the forecasted 1.78 million barrels per day. This trend in production portends another frightening dimension when we consider that in the not too distant future, our overall installed domestic refining capacity, currently closing in on about 1.2 million barrels per day, may soon outstrip our current crude oil production level, with the risk of Nigeria finding itself in a position where it is unable to meet its domestic refinery crude demand or even become a net importer of crude oil. God forbid that. It is against this scary backdrop that IPPG is calling for urgent measures to be undertaken by all relevant stakeholders to immediately arrest this dwindling production level and underinvestment by focusing on these 4 priority areas. Priority area number 1, the immediate conclusion of all pending IOC divestment transactions. IPPG strongly advocates that our members' companies, Seplat, the Renaissance Consortium, and Wandi have the proven track record to successfully take over and manage these onshore and shallow water assets to realize incremental production in the region of 100,000 barrels to 200,000 barrels of oil and over 1.5 BCF of gas per day within 24 months and well over 500,000 barrels of oil in the long term. IPPG believes the timely approval of these IOC divestment transactions will also be a clear signal capable of restoring global investor confidence in Nigeria in an era of competing global investment destinations in Africa and very limited access to capital. Priority area number 2, the urgent need to address deepwater development and production. Untangling issues around deepwater development, particularly in terms of competitive fiscal regime being negotiated with Shell, Total Energies, ExxonMobil, and Chevron, has the potential to unlock incremental production of 700,000 barrels per day from this terrain in the short to medium term. Enabling deepwater development will attract significant economic benefits as Nigeria has one of the world's largest untapped deepwater resources base. Priority number 3, the adoption of a national value retention strategy. Nigeria's domestic crude oil refining and petrochemical capacity must be sustained primarily from our domestic crude oil and gas production in order to transform our country into a net exporter of refined petroleum and petrochemical products that will lay a strong foundation for the rapid industrialization of the Nigerian economy. It is therefore imperative to grow our daily production to a minimum of 2.5 million barrels of oil and 10 BCF of gas in the near to long term to ensure we are able to meet our domestic refinery and petrochemical demands and export commitments to generate the much needed foreign exchange earnings for macroeconomic stability. Priority number 4, the development of Nigeria's gas resources to catalyze economic growth and complement decarbonization drive. Nigeria's vast gas resources must be exploited with immediate focus placed on restoring production to existing installed LNG capacity and expanding production, FLNG for instance. In addition, we must expand domestic gas utilization, gas to power, gas-based industries by investing heavily to address the gas infrastructure deficits we face today. The international oil companies will lead the charge on export gas, while IPPG members will drive the domestic gas agenda led by NNPCL. These priority areas provide the most realistic and sustainable pathway towards meeting our national long-term production aspirations of 4 million barrels of oil per day and 13 billion cubic feet of gas per day. Consequently, as a matter of national importance, Nigeria must act fast and hasten the pace of recovery across the entire industry, even if it means, Mr. President, declaring a state of emergency in the oil and gas sector. We must be seen to do everything possible to unleash this industry on the economy of this country. Unlocking this incremental production is achievable only through collaboration and commitment between industry regulators, NUPRC, NMDPRA, Nigerian Content Monitoring and Monitoring, Nigerian NCDMB, and industry operators, NMPCL, OPTS, and IPPG. And this must be done for the sake of our country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we are reminded of the vital role the industry plays in sustaining the national economy. The theme of this year's conference, showcasing opportunities, driving investment, meeting energy demand, is yet another clarion call for us collectively confront the challenges and opportunities shaping the energy landscape, and we must remain steadfast in our dedications to driving positive change in the energy sector and beyond. With strategic policymakers, business enabling regulators, and commercially focused and socially responsible operators working in unison towards achieving our shared goal of energy security, I believe we can unlock the full potential of our industry. At this juncture, IPPG reaffirms its continuous commitment and support to the policies of government, particularly on its quest for energy availability, affordability, and energy security for all Nigerians. Your Excellency, captains of industry, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by expressing our gratitude to His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his exceptional support and unwavering commitment in resolving the underlying industry challenges. Secondly, to our principal sponsor, NNPCL, under the leadership of his chairman, Pius Akinyeloye, and my brother, the GCO of NNPC, Madam Mele Olokiari, for once again organizing this yearly conference. I thank you for your attention and wish you a pleasurable, engaging time at the 2024 NOG Energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Abdurrasaq, Chairman IPP, Chairman of Water School. Of course, when a man wears the shoe, he certainly knows where it pinches. And when a man is vastly experienced in a business, is qualified enough to be a profitable price. He's left advice on the table. We're delighted that the organizers have brought into the room both ministers, the special advisor on energy, the regulators, and the operator of national interest. And we'll be listening to them as well, some of them, a lot of them will mention as well. And I'm certain that with the executive order that the industry is running and is aimed at reducing contracting circle and ultimately dropping costs. I'm sure the President has shown the political will, because many times we question the will of political leaders to do the things for the industry. But this current administration that is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown very political will. And they are not only willing to listen to the industry, but also help the industry get to where it needs to get to. And the stakeholders have also continued to engage with relevant government arms, whether the legislators or the executive. I'm aware that NNPC has been engaging with legislators on what expectations of better collaborations are. I'm also aware that OBTS does the same thing, however IPPG plays the role this as well. So truly, we're getting gradually to that place where we'll have a consensus on how to drive this particular industry. But I love the way Mr. Issa puts it, to unleash the industry on the economy of the country. All right. Okay, so thank you. One more time, let's please give him a round of applause. Chairman, I was listening carefully, and I do not remember him, maybe I didn't say that, but I do not remember him mentioning issues around crude oil theft, and that's because NNPC has sustained, their momentum and helping curb that and fight that as much as they can. If you follow, the news, you see that hundreds of interceptions have been made around pipeline vandalisms and all what the NNPC is doing in that regard was continually increase our production across our people there. So I'd like to welcome now our next speaker, who will come to give us a keynote to address as what I call a national interest operator. Please help me welcome the new Chief Executive Officer of NNPC, OFR, EveafriqueNews.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. Just want to say that I've actually finished my work, and I can actually take my bow and leave. But I won't do that because we can't continue. We can't continue that. The best don't produce oil. The best produce conflict. Except where we are. So this industry is about producing oil and gas. Yes, we can do the analysis of the Office Secretary General and the CF Secretary General have said yes, we want to expect many other things from us. But more importantly, for all of us in this room, I'm sure our biggest interest is to produce more oil and more gas. We don't need to talk about it, that we have its own dream, but you produce it. Therefore, what we are focused on with our partners today is to produce more oil and to grow the production. How this works? Who knows how to get this works? Okay. Yes, it does. It's to produce more oil. And how do you produce more oil? And it is common knowledge also. You must put money, you must get the right people to work, you must have the right technology, and the will to produce it so they can benefit from it. Are all this lacking? No. But what really happened in our country is that I can share with you. Somebody help me. Maybe I just speak my mind. I think it's better doing that than talking to chats. I don't like PowerPoints. Yes, let me just speak my mind. I think it's better. I'll give you a chance. We went down in our production for oil and gas, nowhere near our capacity or our capability. We can blame anything, oil theft, integrity, and so on and so forth. That basically, like Abdulrazak said, there are so many things moving around, getting us to where we are. Yes, oil theft is part of it, I agree. But the bottom line is that what we did very recently is to take just a deep breath and look at where are we? And when we look at the data for our production by asset, in the last 3 months, without doing anything, without mobilizing any rig, we all know, yes, we can talk about decline, as Abdulrazak said, but decline don't happen in 3 months. Even when we took a look at our production in the last 3 months by asset, we discovered that we are actually at 2 million barrels per day. That means we are unable to sustain it. And we can blame anything for lack of sustainability. Yes, theft is one of them, vandal action. But also the sheer inability of all of us, our partners, no exception, including NSPC, our inability to act quickly, in a timely manner. And also, yes, we can blame anything. Access to capital, yes. Why don't we have access to capital? We can blame anything, but what we have seen is that we are actually at 2 million barrels per day without doing any of the major things that we're talking about. Without bringing the new 700,000 barrels that Abdulrazak has talked about, without restoring the 200 or so that will come from the investment. No, without even doing this, we're actually there. And that is why we, as the partner of 80% of those who produce oil and gas in this country, we have decided that we'll stop the debate. And we have declared a war. War means war. We have the right troops. We know what to fight.
We know what we have to do at the level of assets. And we have engaged our partners. Any partner that doesn't do what it should do will get it done. This is our only way of doing things. We can't wait for anyone. We are moving on. We cannot afford to negotiate any further. So we have stopped the debate. And that's why by a war room, what it means is that we are looking at every asset, every issue that's associated with it. We'll partner with our counterparties. But if it doesn't happen, we'll get it done. And this is the meaning of the war. From security to asset integrity to everything that you can think of. As a matter of fact, and as you all know, our pipeline network today, the major trunk line delivering crude to Port Bonny and Forcados and Brass, all of them. As you all know, the oil was in 1970, older than most people in this room. No pipeline survives this. With or without the vandal actions or the theft. And we have taken another major decision that will replace these pipelines. And on this replacement, no debate. We will not wait for anyone. We will replace these pipelines. When we do, everybody must flow into this line. Nobody's going to take a margin of $21, $10. We will not take this. It's not just a business decision, it's a national decision. This country must do this. And we are leading this, and we're very determined to deliver on this. And we'll move on. Not only that, we keep talking about increasing production. Rigs come here, tap off, deep water, they drill one well and leave. And that's why you have no guarantees around availability of rigs in this country. Nobody will come here, mobilize for one rig and leave, and that's why you are seeing the scarcity of the right rigs coming to our country. We have also taken another step. We will set a rig share club with our partners. Only exception. And the reason is very simple. People have converted procurement to production. Procurement to business. It is not the business. We'll face it with you, and I'm very happy to also say that all our partners are aligned with this. They love this, and we work with them. Jim, I'm sure you all agree that we have to do this in the best interest of our businesses. And this ties to Mr. President's ambition to take out some of the obstacles that we have. The executive order, no doubt, was a very bold initiative by Mr. President. It does three things for us. It removes the constraint created by our intention, very good intention, to increase domestic capacity. Yes, we agree. But it doesn't mean stop the act, stop the process, no. That today, and I'll share with you, of all the major 6 or 7 EPC contractors in our industry, only one is here with us. Only one. And the reason is very simple. They can no longer work with us. And we'll bring them back. This is the intention of the executive order, so that the right people work with us while we grow local capacity. And this is possible. That's what every country did, not the inversion of that. And what we did is the inversion of that, and I'm happy that NCDMA also aligned on this, without option also. It's not for debate also. And secondly, fiscal tax for gas, NAG. As you all know, nobody has ever put money on NAG. They won't, you won't, every NNPC won't. But now it is clear that you can commercially produce NAG in our country. And we have seen significant decisions being made, FIDs taken, processes going on to unlock those resources. And this is happening. Of course, procurement, everybody says there are delays in procurement. Yes, there are delays because, and I like to talk electronically, all of us in the producing company have converted procurement into business. It's not just NNPC, every one of us within our companies, and I've spoken this openly to all our partners, that within your companies, you have principalities.
Powers. Every Nigeria is a principality, by the way. I know.
Who will add cost to your cost.
Yeah.
And now, what Mr. President has done is taking out all these principalities. If you do, it's your choice. And for us as a company, we are moving to another level. And very soon, we are going to cap the cost of production. The can call your wife to do the contracting, no problem. Provided you produce the oil at $20. Not a problem at all. We'll get it there. So that we can take out those procurement people who have stopped us from developing and growing in the country and have done. And this is what Mr. President and the Vice President have done, is to take out those disparities so that we can move on. And as we are doing this, and clearly stated by Honorable Razak, sorry, my words, I can say my brother and my friend, sorry, I apologize, not even. Yeah, clearly stated that we must grow domestic gas in the delivery of domestic gas is a key objective of our government, of our company, and our partners. As we all know, there's no doubt, I'm sure you have seen the short interview before we started this, no lawyer, and poverty. Otherwise, the fact this is because we are unable to utilize the huge resources that we have in our country. No one is putting money into domestic gas infrastructure. We are doing it. We are leading this. And what are we doing? We are building the infrastructure that is required to deliver gas into our country. Go with charge tariffs, CSR. But we are leading this so that we can deliver this. And I can tell you that within the next 6 months, you will see the changes that will happen. For instance, those of us who are aware of what we call one element of us, that's the we couldn't cross the river Niger. 5 line of 2.7 kilometers now. So we couldn't do it for 12 years. Is it a shame? Yes. How long did it take to do the English tunnel? 4 years, or about 5 years. So it's not an impossible activity, but it didn't happen. And I can tell you, we are very, so for the first time, we have crossed the 1 kilometer line on the river crossing. And everything that is there in the other side, you all know that the rest part of it is a straight line. You don't see any obstacle stopping us from crossing the river. Once that is done, and I'm very confident this will happen, is introducing over 2 billion scopes of gas. Everyone of us is waiting for the pipeline to work so that they can put money in upstream gas or even that. Nobody will do it except us. And I agree, the independent companies, Nigerian partners, they will contribute to dump gas, but there must be an evacuation mechanism, and we'll provide this. And as we're doing this, we're also not waiting for anyone. We are deepening domestic gas utilization, powering the CMG initiative for Mr. President, so that Nigerians can have cheap automobile fuel. It's already happening. I can tell you, 2 days' time, we are going to commission 12 stations in partnership with NIPCOM, in most of the stations' house, so that in Lagos and Abuja, as we are expanding to other states, so that we can quickly provide the cheap automobile fuel to the state. And this will lead. Not just that we have to lead, but because this is business also. It will pay off. So others can join us. We invite you to join us, including Razak, so that they can put money into this. And as we are doing this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize that our country's short-term and even long-term prosperity depends on what we do in the energy sector. It's not just about creating energy, that's not what we're doing. We're creating resources that is required to develop this country, create the prosperity of today, so that the prosperity of tomorrow will also be realistic. And that is why it is not misplaced for our country to say that the survival, short-term survival of the economy of this country depends on all of us. And it's an easy way of doing it. It's first, we will intervene, join us in the war, we will recover the 2 million barrels because it is practical. And whatever is required to bring the incremental in terms of providing new assets, closing the investment, and I'm sure we don't have any issues with that anymore. And also issues around risk sharing, removing the principalities in our contracting process. And I believe you will join us so that we will act collectively and shortly so that we can achieve those outcomes. Otherwise, we'll not be in business, we'll be talking as he said, we don't want to talk, we don't want to debate. The debate has ended, and you need to join us. If you don't, this country will move on without any of us. I'd like to thank you and for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I have to say for a fact that I'm sure the principalities are not here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
They're all here.
Last year, I had the opportunity of being here as one of the compares when the GCO remarks. Actually, last year you did not even bother having the PowerPoint presentation. You said you hated it. So this year I was surprised when you had the PowerPoint presentation.
It's improving.
And you see that it decided that no, you don't like me, I don't like you. So, sir, one thing I can say for sure is that when you speak on STEM code, the passion shows. Everyone in the world can agree. The passion shows, and then you have information at your fingertips and you reel them out. It shows that you're handsome. So please put your hands together for me. One thing I would like to thank you for is the fact that the CNG stations is in almost all the 6 geopolitical zones. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Because just 3 weeks ago, I was taking a road trip from Bayelsa to Edo State, and I was excited like a child in a candy shop when I saw the CNG station in Benin. And it shows that you are really doing the work as you say it, you do. Thank you so much, sir. And on that note, there is also another organization, a regulatory body, that's the NOGEnergyWeek. They did something that caught my attention recently, and that is the fact that even though we're in the decade of gas, there are people who cannot translate the policies that government has. We have 2 categories, those who can run with it and those who need assistance. And what NMDPRA did was to assist the second set of people who need encouragement and assistance. What did we do? We got cylinders for these families, and I saw them distributing cylinders. As small as that might look, it might be what the person needs at that time to transition to cleaner source of energy and making sure the environment is preserved. So thank you so much, sir, for that collaboration. Oh wow. It said there is a new production of oil, if I'm not mistaken, and that is the Manifest oil. Please a round of applause for that. Thank you so much. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker I'm going to invite is an industry player. But there's something unique about her. She has a unique perspective on how the industry can grow. And it is only people like her that are given higher responsibility. And that is why she is currently advising His Excellency, President Bola Tinubu, the oil and gas industry. Please permit me to welcome, with all sense of joy and responsibility, Mrs. Olue Bayo. Please put your hands together.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on the existing protocols. I am honored to speak at this event today. I was supposed to attend this event about a few weeks after my office was established by His Excellency President Bola Tinubu. But I would have been here to do a lot of talking and promising. And today I'm a lot more excited to be here because we actually have tangible deliveries to share. Thanks to the organizers and sponsors for providing this platform. We're not just here to actively We're not just here to discuss, but to actively shape the future of the Nigerian oil and gas industry. Each of us, as partners and with your significant contributions, has the power to shape a better energy landscape in Nigeria. Your role is crucial. My address will cover our energy policy under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as coordinated by the Energy Office of the Presidency, which I head. Coincidentally, this administration is 400 days in office today. How have we fared? Are we on the right track in powering economic outcomes for Nigeria's energy sector? I believe we are, and I'll try to speak to that. Let me share a bit of background. We boast a history of over 70 years of oil and gas production in Nigeria. Yet our current output and investment levels do not reflect our actual capacity, as been said by many other speakers. It's a well-known fact that everyone here is aware of. But the potential of our sector remains immense, and it is that potential that gives me hope and gives everyone hope here for a brighter future. Despite holding 38% of Africa's hydrocarbon reserves, we only captured about 4% of the continent's investments since 2016. But with this untapped potential, we have the opportunity to increase our share of global energy markets significantly. So we assiduously got to work, led by the President, and we view this opportunity as a global initiative. We view this as an opportunity to ensure energy security and economic viability. The President is fully committed to leveraging our energy sector as a catalyst for national prosperity, a goal we all share. This commitment to energy reform should assure you of our unwavering dedication to this cause. At the Energy Office in the Presidency, we quickly recognized the need for credible and consistent policies to instill confidence and stimulate the economy. So we returned to the drawing board at the start of the administration. The passage of the PIA during the last administration was a significant step, but we needed more. Therefore, we introduced policy directives to make Nigeria more appealing for energy projects. These efforts have resulted in 5 presidential directives, which represents significant progress in our reform journey. The first one was establishing a clear and transparent regulatory framework. A stable regulatory environment as clearly defined agency roles is crucial to unlocking our tapped potential as an industry and making Nigeria more transparent, efficient, and competitive now and in the future. To achieve this, the initial directive specified the regulatory scope of NUPRC and NMDPRA to ensure a stable environment for investors and clearly delineate the roles of the regulatory bodies. I want to thank the ACE and CCE for implementing those directives and providing the confidence that was required at very early days of this administration. The second directive is Directive 40. It focuses on providing fiscal incentives for oil and gas projects, and they make us more competitive for investments. Directives 40 and 41 offer incentives for midstream gas utilization projects and non-associated gas projects. We offer production credits. We tie these incentives to outcomes to make sure that we are able to relaunch economic activity in the gas sector, as exemplified by the recent final investment decision on the Beta non-associated gas development project, a JV between NNPCL and Total Energies, valued at $550 million. This project is crucial to maximizing NLNG's Train 7 capacity and expanding gas utilization in the domestic market. This will positively impact the Nigerian economy. I want to specifically commend the efforts of NNPCL and Total Energies in driving this investment, and I appreciate your commitment. We have also completed a comprehensive assessment of Nigeria's deep water competitiveness compared to 13 peer countries to attract investments and further solidify Nigeria's position as a premier investment destination. We've engaged all the deep water players. Mr. Alaji Issa will be pleased to know. And we're working on mutually beneficial fiscal incentives that will facilitate the deep water projects, which will be critical to Nigeria's target of 4 million barrels per day and reliability of gas supply into domestic, regional, and international markets. Directives 41 and 42 have also been introduced to enhance local content and reduce cost premiums. Contracting cycles to align cost and timelines with global standards. Analysis revealed a 40% cost premium and a timeline sometimes exceeding 38 months in Nigeria's oil and gas sector, compared to the 4 to 6 months. Directive 41, on the other hand, explicitly implements local content reforms to enhance cost competitiveness of oil and gas projects in Nigeria. This directive will promote continuous evaluation of local capacity, flexibility in local content requirements to accommodate international firms, workforce upskilling, and overall economic growth and productivity. As many of you know, Saudi Arabia's strategic investments in local capacity allow it to produce oil at less than $5 a barrel. What could Nigeria achieve if our local content policies enabled Nigerian companies to operate with similar efficiency? Directive 42 aims to expedite the market delivery of oil and gas products by shortening contracting cycles. These incentives are expected to stimulate cost efficiency and promote cost discipline in the oil and gas industry. How quickly can we move to ensure Nigeria benefits from regulatory agility and attractiveness similar to Brazil in reducing contracting cycles and streamlining its bidding processes to stimulate investments? Lastly, we're diversifying Nigeria's energy portfolio through liquefied petroleum gas incentives and compressed natural gas incentives to support a transition to cleaner energy sources in transportation, displacing heavier carbon fuels in the use of transportation and in households. Our incentives for CNG and LPG aim to stabilize energy costs, ease the impact of fuel subsidy removal on transportation costs, and promote sustainable development. This will also contribute to stabilizing the price of cooking gas in the market and supporting the transition to clean cooking and energy alternatives. Now that I've painted a clear picture of our direction, our initiatives, and the opportunities ahead, there are still some areas that we must fix to achieve real progress and economic outcomes we say. In the gas to power space, gas is the primary energy source for an on-grid electricity market. However, unpaid debts have led to financial instability that affect gas supply to power stations. These are not merely obstacles, but opportunities to demonstrate our resolve and capability. And if we work together to implement some of the strategic initiatives that we have for clearing those legacy debts, we can turn these opportunities around for national prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, the government has only recently introduced tariff reforms to make sure that we continue our journey to cost-reflective tariffs. We're also rolling out the Presidential Metering Initiative to bridge the gap in metering and reduce revenue losses in the power sector. With modern smart meters, collection losses are expected to decrease, which will generate more revenue and improve the financial liquidity of that sector. Additional measures are being taken to ensure that those who can afford to pay a realistic electricity price do so without subsidies, while we continue to protect and subsidize for the poor and vulnerable. This will make funds available to settle power sector debts, including gas sector debts, while we implement a comprehensive plan to adjust prices reasonably and support economically disadvantaged. In so doing, we hope to restore confidence among gas suppliers and encourage more investment in gas production for the power sector. This is in addition to ongoing efforts to make the power sector more reliable for gas suppliers by creating an environment that allows the industry to be self-sustaining and attract investments, and promote the productive use of power for economic growth by addressing the financial challenges. Our vision extends beyond stabilization. We are prioritizing the productive use of power, and in particular, commercial and industrial sectors who have the capacity to pay, and in so doing, lay the foundation for sustainable energy security for industrialization and economic diversification. Our priority is to fuel economic growth that outpaces our population growth. We are therefore focused on strengthening our power sector for sustainability. Our President has continuously advocated for private sector-led growth and transparent government policies to ensure prosperity for all Nigerians. As President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has always said, and I want to reiterate, we intend to sustain engagement and collaboration with key investors to ensure we attract capital and capabilities to this sector to catalyze job creation, enhance productivity, and income growth across multiple sectors. This administration is highly focused on creating significant economic opportunities to help millions of hardworking Nigerians escape poverty. To all physically present here and online today, both local and international stakeholders, Nigeria is not just open for business. We are actively redefining our future where energy security and economic prosperity are guaranteed. Our message is clear. Nigeria's capacity is growing in sustainable and efficient ways. Our production is on the rise, and we invite each of you to join us on this journey. With your support, Nigeria will not only overcome today's challenges, but also thrive in tomorrow's opportunities. Together, we will build a prosperous future for Nigeria, driven by innovation, energy, and the hard work of its people. Thank you once again for providing this platform.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Olubahe, Special Advisor to the President of Energy. Listening to her and reading out the achievements of her office since she was appointed, we then appreciate why the President had wanted her to advise him. Please let's appreciate her one more time. My colleague alluded to some of the remarkable achievements that we're making with gas, and the GCEO who inspired us to say that also read out to us some of the successes that the industry is making now in terms of gas. And in fact, I tie to the fact that the President has decided to spotlight gas as something that should be developed on its own. And this next speaker took up that mantle from the President and has been running ever so passionately with great commitment to making sure that all stakeholders come together. And most importantly, triggering inspiration amongst investors located internationally to invest across the gas value chain. He will come give us his own address at this opening ceremony of the NOG Energy Week 2020. Please welcome with me His Excellency, the Right Honorable Eko, the Honorable Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Gas.
Chairs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a great day that we are gathering here today to talk about our country's energy sector. I wouldn't have wanted to say anything any longer after the IPTG chairman has made that ambitious declaration, and of course the charge by the DCU and the report card by the Ministry of Energy. My job would have been to say thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Let us go into the field and work since we know what we need to do. The questions will be asked. What was the address of the Minister of State Resources? Yes. So on that very note, let me say that it is with a deep sense of responsibility that I address this August gathering regarding the 2010 annual Nigeria Oil and Gas Conference. This event has become the cornerstone of our industry's calendar, and I'm pleased to deliver the official ministerial address under the theme showcasing opportunities, driving investment, and meeting energy demand. The Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Gas, is at the forefront of steering Nigeria towards a prosperous and sustainable energy future. Our mandate involves not only formulating policies and supervising their implementation in the oil and gas industry, but also creating an enabling environment that fosters growth, innovation, and investment. Let me outline how we are fulfilling this role through our focus on showcasing opportunities, driving investment, and meeting energy demand. The ministry is committed to highlighting the vast opportunities within Nigerian gas sector. Through strategic initiatives and cooperative policies, we aim to reveal the untapped potential across the entire value chain. Our natural gas reserve, proven 209 trillion cubic feet, are among the largest globally, offering immense opportunities for exploration, production, and utilization. We are particularly focused on promoting gas-based industries, such as fertilizers, petrochemical, and methanol. These industries not only diversify our economy, but also create significant employment opportunities. By showcasing these prospects and forums like this conference, we aim to attract global attention and encourage partnerships that can drive growth and development. Investment is the lifeblood of the oil and gas sector. The ministry has been instrumental in implementing reforms that make Nigeria an attractive destination for both local and international investors. The Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, and the recent presidential directive for oil and gas companies on tax incentives, exemption, permission, etc., by His Excellency, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, have created a conducive environment for investment. These reforms ensure transparency, accountability, and regulatory certainty, making Nigeria an attractive destination for investors. The regulatory framework now in place incentivizes investment, streamline bureaucratic processes, and provide clarity on fiscal terms. A key initiative under our investment strategies is the midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund, NDGIA. The NDGIA is designed to catalyze investment in critical infrastructure projects in the midstream and downstream value chain. By addressing infrastructure gaps, we can significantly enhance the efficiency and reliability of our gas supply chain. Meeting the growing energy demand of our nation and the continent is a priority for the ministry. We recognize the natural gas is central to achieving this goal. Given its status as the cleaner and more efficient fuel, our gas to power initiatives are pivotal, aiming to provide reliable and affordable electricity that supports industrialization and improved living standards. Additionally, we are promoting the use of compressed natural gas, CNG, for vehicles, also known as autogas. This initiative is not only a strategic response to pushing the effect of downstream regulation but also a significant driver of market growth and job creation for Nigerians. The transition to autogas presents numerous benefits, including efficiency, availability, accessibility, neutrality, and environment safety. By fostering the use of CNG and LPG, we are positioning Nigeria as a leader in clean energy solutions, enhancing both energy security and environmental sustainability. The ministry is also committed to expanding domestic gas utilization. By fostering strategic partnership and supporting innovative projects, we aim to enhance energy access and drive sustainable development of our vision to ensure that every Nigerian has access to affordable and reliable energy, thereby fostering economic growth and improving quality of life. In alignment with these goals, the ministry has declared the Decade of Gas Initiative. This ambitious initiative aims to transform Nigeria into a gas-powered economy by 2030. It involves optimizing the entire gas value chain, from exploration and production to processing and utilization. The Decade of Gas is not just a policy declaration, but a strategic vision to harness our gas resources for national development. The theme of this year's conference, showcasing opportunities, driving investment, meeting energy demand, perfectly aligned with the ministry's vision and objectives. It is a call to action for all stakeholders to collaborate, innovate, and invest in our shared future. The Ministry of Petroleum Resources is committed to leading this charge, ensuring that we leverage our natural resources for sustainable development. Let us embrace the opportunities before us, drive the necessary investment, and meet our energy demand with resilience and innovation. At this point in time, I would like to make a remark regarding the power outage. It was timely, because we have the two ministers here. We have the DCO here. We have the pastoral heads here, who, if they can come together in an executive session, they will check the fortune of this nation. And I want to believe that will be the last time that power outage will be recognized where critical stakeholders like the energy, and all of us are gathered together. And for them to the fact that we are here about 22 mountains to tell us what numerous Nigerians are passing through without power to drive their own economy, which will add value to our own country. So I think it's the time for us to wake up from the slumber, come together as a body,
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, if we come together with that, we will not experience issues with energy and power. Thank you so much, sir. Please, another round of applause for Honorable Minister. Excellency Honorable thank you so much, sir. And you know, as a girl who spends a lot of time at Abraham, I can tell you that you're doing very well. Please put your hands together. May I this time distinguished ladies and gentlemen inform us that immediately after the remarks, the address of the next speaker, we will be having family photo session. And Michael MC Richmond Suji will be one in that process. So we enjoy you to please adhere. You will be mentioning those that will be joining for the family photograph, after which we will have the tour of the exhibitions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, believe me to invite a man who, even though he majored in university as a barrister, recently I had the pleasure of listening to him in Yanagwa precisely last week, Friday, as he explained the reasons why he went into law. And he called himself an accidental politician, and he believes rather in giving so much value. And that is why, as Minister of State for Agriculture, there were a number of revolutionary achievements and projects under the administration, under his watch, the Minister of Agriculture. And His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, decided that he's worthy to be given this position, and he has hit the ground running since he was given this position. He and his counterpart in the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources have been working tirelessly without sleep to ensure that the President's vision for the oil and gas industry is translated into concrete reality. Please join me in receiving for the next ministerial address, His Excellency, distinguished Senator Heineken Lukubri, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources.
Thank you very much. Let me also create an acknowledgement to please stand context. But we need to recognize the
So increase volume.
when you're too tall, too short. Let me say that it's a very rare privilege to be the opportunity to be one of the speakers in this year's I'm not a member of the past. This is the first one. I'm going to point out the resources about it. It's actually very interesting to hear why do I say so? I was privileged to do that. Challenges are completely different. Actually, this is where I am called the book. You want to show them on full station so you have to internet. My wife would have told me that when you minister before, why you minister by 3 a.m. to talk to somebody for the next 2 hours. You see that they will like that. But that is for another thing. Let me start by saying that I'm privileged to be able to speak to us. We are one government, one representative. I would have the privilege of this speakers who has come out from me, the chairman of IPPG to Gary, to said it. So whatever they have said here, there were achievement is collective. If this government succeeds, we succeed together. If we fail, we fail together. And so, I'm adopting everything. However, we really need to just add a few words. Let it not be that I didn't say anything. In addition to what they have said, or maybe even by way of repetition, let me just repeat some of the things that they for purpose of emphasis, some of the things that they have said. And so, I want to just add that when we appointed as ministers, the first directive given to us by the president, but to me, like the president, was to say, look, go work with stakeholders, work with Madam Kiari, work with Benka Kawalafi, work with Faro, work with NOG Energy to ramp up production. His own words, he said, go and increase the pie. When the pie is big enough, it will be enough. And then the second words, we are going to do. Working very closely together, and sometimes maybe I'm pushing them too hard. You know, CC will tell, sometimes I call you by 3 a.m., sometimes I call Madam Kiari by 3 a.m. What are you doing? I mean, so please wake up, we have a problem. I call CC, what are you? I call him, he say, yes, sir. I say, sorry, you'll tell your husband to understand. You have to wake up so that we can, address challenges facing the industry. And all that we are doing is because of the commitment, to improving, the sector. And so, the overall objective of all that I've said here is to increase production. We will increase production, we will ramp up production that will get real value. We'll be able to get the requisite forest inflow, we'll be able to get money that will be for the budget. We'll be able to get, what we need to satisfy energy demands. And so, since I came, I focused on doing what we are expected to do to increase production. And to increase production. You can only increase production by way of increasing investment. You recall that before this government, it's been consistently said. Recently, the global CEO of Total said, and the Nigerian were who were calling and abusing me. And they said that with the investment in Nigeria in the past 12 years. I wasn't minister 12 years ago. Another minister 10 months ago. So why do you want to blame me for what happened 12 years ago in the energy sector? But what I'm told them is that this government is doing things differently. Why will we not have an investment? Because we believe that the confidence of the investing community was eroded. Companies were leaving because the PIA took longer than expected to advance. Nobody wants to invest in a climate where there's no certainty. But now PIA has passed in 2021, so there's regulatory certainty. But what about the conditions, fiscals, and other, preconditions to attract investment to a country? Those things were non-existent. That was why investment didn't come. That's why the fact that PIA was passed in 2021. But since this government came, focus on increasing the confidence of the investing community. And I guess those of you, the industry players who are gathered here will attest to the fact that the investment community's confidence is restored. That is why you have started seeing investments coming in. A few weeks ago, Kula signed a deal with NOG. Also last week, Total Energy signed a deal with NOG. It is just the smallest part of investment we expected to flow in. The president also directed myself and Attorney General of the Federation to also resolve the issues around oil and 245. And so the last time we met was in the NNPC boardroom. CC was there, Melanie was there, Attorney General was there. The team from E&I was there. We also have commitments, by the IOC to invest in Boganov. So investment has started coming back. Business men understand only one thing. What can we do that will sustain our investments? What can we do that can sustain profitability? What is the best? It is destination globally competitive. Instead of going to Guyana, is Nigeria globally competitive? But I believe that what this government has successfully done is to create an atmosphere where we have become globally competitive. A few weeks ago, I tasked my team in my office to say, look, I want the fiscals all over the world. Let's benchmark those fiscals with our own fiscals. I feel interested to know that Nigeria's fiscals are globally competitive. And I believe that since this government came 1 year ago, what we have done has started getting results. And that is why even those service companies that left before that GC alluded to are coming back. A few weeks ago, we had a privilege of playing host to global CEO of NOG. When I came, one of the biggest complaints was that all the service companies have left. And I asked the question, why? They said, because when the Local Content Act was passed, later on to the Senate, the ranking senator who passed it. Some people that were implementing the Local Content Act misapplied the Local Content Act to the local content substitution. That was the intent was to create local capacity to coexist alongside the IOCs. No global trading company can go tip offshore. But what we have told them is that the president in his wisdom has appointed their chairman of the local content governing council, and so we're going to do things differently. The difference between this government and the previous government is that we're listening at the home. And that's the government. If you have any challenge, you come to me and we'll resolve your problems. So we have assured them that the local content, if it was misapplied before, that led all the service companies to leave, and the bottom, slum, J, all of them to leave. And some of them were not leaving actually. What they do is that they go to the Republic, set up offices, and so it's the same. Me and him, I are very privileged of leading this sector at this particular time. And so my own contention is that the sole mandate is for us to increase production, for us to have a production that will enable us to meet our domestic demand and also, veteran dollars to strengthen our local economy. And as Minister, in charge of oil, it's very interesting for me to also share with you that my objective is to ensure that we keep increasing production of crude oil. I can't talk about gas. Gas has been spoken about by my colleague in gas. Or my interest. If you produce only gas, I will not produce crude oil. I fail. To lead the sector that to do with crude oil. I'm happy, to announce to you that since, Minister, we have been on a sustainable basis in increasing production. It's also important for Nigerians to know that even when you say we produce maybe 1.3 or 1.25, as you get from OPEC, that excludes condensate. Condensate is also another brand. But it's interesting for me to announce to you that NNPC, in partnership with First EMP, has added another 60,000 barrels of crude oil production. Clap for us now. If you have 60,000 barrels and you multiply it by $80, per barrel, multiply it by 365 days, you can see the mega money greater money. But this is only from 2 wells, from 2 fields, from Ayala and Madu fields. First year, the partnership with and also adding, about 100 million cubic feet of gas in the course of this production. Otherwise, I said, gas and crude oil come through the same oil pipe. But it is also very, very, very environmentally friendly. There is zero flare. And it is important. There is zero flare. The real reason of the PIA is not for us to stop fossil fuel production. It's for us to produce fossil fuel in a clean, green, and environmentally sustainable way. It's only a good point for me to emphasize this point. I've had the privilege of, meeting with global leaders. The last time I was privileged to be in the forum was in Holland, Rotterdam, Holland, about a month ago. Deputy Prime Minister of Holland, who is also the Minister of Climate Change and Energy, was also in that forum. The consensus is that fossil fuel will not go away. And if you look at the records historically, no form of energy has been completely abandoned. And I've always contended in any forum that I found myself at Africa's problem is energy poverty. And that's why I'm very happy with the team on this program. Africa's problem is energy poverty. How do we solve our problems of energy poverty? You've abandoned fossil fuel production. And it's happening to commit suicide. Meanwhile, those who are asking to commit suicide are not abandoning fossil fuel production. USA is the highest producer of oil and gas today. Britain just gave over 100 licenses for new exploration to the North Sea. Why would Europeans send it to stop? Why they are increasing production? It's a hypocrisy of theirs. And I've always told them to their faces and say, look, sorry, charity must begin at home. If you want us to abandon fossil production, please start from your homes. Start from America. Start from we on our own have resolved 2 laws and policies that we will produce, oil and gas and mix our energy sources in a sustainable, clean, and greener way. How can we abandon that? We cannot rely on the promises of the West to solve our energy problem. Now, please, I don't want us to mention that all. Sometimes when we meet, even as governments, we don't even agree. They say there are promises, there are pledges from the West that if you stop fossil fuel production, you will get carbon credit, you will get check. How much of that money are they released? Even if they have the 100 billion or 200 billion and they want to even release all, how much will come to Nigeria compared to what we can get if we choose to produce, oil and gas in a clean, greener, and environmentally sustainable way. So we must find homegrown solutions to our energy problems. That's the challenge for those of you who are in this zone. Let's remember by challenging members of IPPG. The chairman of IPPG spoke very well. He's always spoken very well. Anytime about the people listen to him, he always speaks very well. But IPPG also has an obligation. They also have the duty to share in the next few days what is their plan to increase production. If they have about 28 IPPG members, each of them produce 5,000 barrels today, and they increase it to 30,000 barrels. If they make a little more investment, we will have opportunity to increase their production, meet our domestic demand, and also get more revenue into our system. So IPPG, it's not enough for you to challenge NPC. You are critical stakeholders. In fact, my belief is that, with the divestment that are going on, the future of our energy security lies with IPPG. NNPC is our national oil company. for Nigeria, but IPPG has a critical role to play. As governments, we want to engage members of IPPG. Let them tell us their problems to increase production. Let them tell us the challenges they are facing. Let them tell us what we can do together to achieve our common objective of ramping up production. Creating the best environment where others will come in and invest. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I've spoken for too long. As I said before, whatever I've said is by way of repeating what has been said before. And also being blessed with the privilege of speaking last. I want to conclude by saying that I wish all of us here to please use the next few days, to discuss how we can increase the fortunes of the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. Nobody will do it for us. We, the only people who can do it for ourselves. Whatever issues that you have, please, the panels that will come up should please speak frankly. Don't sugarcoat anything. If you believe that the Republic is not doing something wrong, say it. But this country doesn't belong to me. It belongs to all of us. And it's either we fix it, or this country will fix us. And God forbid, if we allow the country to fix us. The responsibility of government is to fix issues in different sectors of the economy. And we can't afford to fail in our responsibility. And so with these few words, it's my very rare privilege and honor to declare the 2024 Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Conference and Exhibition open. Thank you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Heineken Lopobiri. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We'll go over now to the family photo. Amicable and Austin, where are you? Is that where you are shooting from, Austin? That's where you're shooting from. There's a people will be standing down here, you know, right? No, what I mean is some of my dignitaries will be standing down here. So the two of you are okay with that position. Please, no photographer, whether you are a smartphone photographer or you are a Canon photographer, should cover Amicable and Austin. Austin, wave. Amicable, wave. Please, the reason is simple. They are the official photographers of the event. If your photographer who came with you misses any picture we're taking here, just ask the organizers, right? We'll get you any picture you want that your person is involved in. I'm telling you, so please, let's not obstruct them for any reason. We greatly appreciate that. That said, Mr. George Onopo, welcome. Mr. Dario Kogo, Mr. Falabi, Madam Elon, please come on stage. Mr. Ronen, please come on stage. Thank you very much. Please come here, come on stage, come on stage, come on stage. Thank you. Please come on stage. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Can I ask you, Selfie? Please come as well. Thank you. Selfie, come on stage, please. Please come on stage. Please come. For photo, please. We are not speaking. Please come, please come. Mr. Kalatiyo, please come. Again, be said for what? How are you? Please come. Mr. Swans, please come. Please come. Makamali, please come. Jipinawa, please come. Please come. Jipinawa, please come. Please come. I hear people I need on stage. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. You're going to move this way. Just come this way. Just come this way. Yes, Ogarasak, please come this way now on the floor. EVP, got some power. EVP upstream down here. Ogachi down here. CC, please down here, sir. Your Excellency, please. GCU, sir. Please this way. Everybody is up. Madam Bahai, please this way. Yes, sir. Please come. Mr. Senator, please come, sir. Yes, I'm meeting here, sir. Yes, please come. This way. That's this.
Please, DMG Levmora, where are you? DMG Levmora, Fumi, Mimi, please come. Two of you, I want two of you, Levmora, come. Can I get Mrs. Ajobi, the president of Kaman, CEO of MyCom? One, please come. Photographers, never take a picture.
Hello, sir.
Please come.
Please, can you adjust more? Hello, sir. You can bend down, sir, please.
Come on.
Sorry, you, madam.
I see my bag go.
MD NEPL, please come. And I'll be please, if you can come this way. Photographers, do we have balance? Up and down, all right? So let's take this shot. Once we're done with this shot, dignitary sirs and masters, you remain where you are. We'll take the national anthem. But please, Ojuri, I want you this way for balance. Ojuri, this way for balance. Correct? Tumosu, correct? All right. Please, I want to make a special appeal. Just hold on, photographers. Please, as we're done, they will remain here. Take national anthem. After which, please remain seated. I beg you, please remain seated. Let's allow them exit. And then let's allow those who are heading to their exhibition booth, MDs of companies or whoever is managing the booth. Let's allow those ones exit after them.